thing that I'm gonna start doing. So this page hit over 200 likes, and I was kind of waiting for that because I kind of wanted to rebrand a little bit, do some different types of things. So I decided I'm gonna start a series of videos, kind of like a YouTube thing, but not exactly, where I just tell stories from my life involving music. People that might not know me as well, they might like this. They might get to know me more. And maybe people I know really well too will learn some new things about me. For the first one, I would do childhood influences, and I'm starting back from the very beginning, and I'm going to take you through kind of to now. I guess I'm going to start from when I was like 4 or 5. My family is a very musical family, and not in the traditional way where they can sing and play a lot of instruments. So that's not being shady. They're just hardcore music lovers, and I really think that was instilled in me from a young age. We were always going to live music events when I was growing up, and you know, okay, I'm gonna cut all that out. I guess the first person to show me their music and what they loved and show me that passion was my grandpa from a very young age. My grandpa, he bought the Oh Brother Where Art Thou soundtrack in the year 2000. I was like 4. I took liking to a particular song at that age from that soundtrack. It's actually in the jailhouse now, and I will insert that here.
He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now.
I am not kidding you. I'm not exaggerating. I love that song so much. So much. They had to get multiple copies of the CD because I played them so much they were ruined. I memorized the words to that song and sang it, you know, for people like at church, at the gun club in Linton. I sang it for all my grandpa's friends. They'd even give me a microphone and have me sing it. Next musical influences that my grandpa gave to me, he would drive me to school, especially in the younger years. He would play songs that I would start to memorize, and we'd sing it in the car on the way. And this included the Everly Brothers.
Wake up, hey Susie, wake up. Wake up. Hey Susie, wake up. We've both been sound asleep. Wake up, hey Susie, and weep. The movie's over, it's 4 o'clock and we're in trouble deep. Wake up, hey Susie.
And of course, the Beatles, his favorites, the Beatles.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you something I think you'll understand. Say that something. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand.
I listen to them quite often. I'm that basic music nerd that's like, wow, they changed rock forever. And the Everly Brothers, my favorite song was Wake Up Little Susie. Now my parents gave me a love of music too, but I was a little bit older. Mom, when I was really young, we would listen to the Moulin Rouge soundtrack, and I loved the song Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend.
A kiss on the hand, we are continental, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. A kiss will be grand, but it's pay the rental on your humble flats, or help you feed your pussycat.
We would sing it. We would sing Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani. We would sing close to 2010s country. My mom also introduced me to pop at that age, like the Veronicas. She might hate me for saying that, but I love the Veronicas.
I feel so untouched and I want you so much that I just can't resist you. It's not enough to say that I miss you.
my dad introduced me to the Eagles and John Mellencamp, but that was more my dad's type of music too. And I grew up in southern Indiana, 45 minutes from where John Mellencamp lives. It's in my blood. I have to like John Mellencamp, and I really think he's a big influence on the music that I write personally because of that Midwest rocker vibe. And if you don't know John Mellencamp or what Midwest rock is, you should listen to this clip now.
Well, I was born in a small town, and I live in a small town. Probably die in a small town. Oh, the small communities, and all my friends in some small town. My parents live in the same small town. My job is so small town, provides little opportunity.
So now it's time to talk about the musical influences that I found myself. The first artist that I loved by myself that my parents didn't care about was Hannah Montana and / Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, you get to be a small town girl, but big time when you play your guitar. You get the best of both worlds.
Her songs were targeted to the age I was then. I was like 8 or 9. I really wanted that life that she had. I liked school for the academics, but school socially I didn't like. So it was nice to imagine she's not the most popular there, but secretly she loves music and she's this singer and she's this songwriter. And that to me was so awesome, and I love it. And my friends still love it too from elementary school, like Rachel Allen, Courtney Warnock. Yeah, y'all still love her too, so don't even lie. The next one, I was a little bit older. I was probably like 4th and 5th grade, was Avril Lavigne.
Whatever you go and make things so complicated. See the way you're acting like somebody else gets me frustrated. Life's like this, you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get and you turn it into honesty. Promise me I'm never gonna find you fake. No, no, no.
I wanted to be Avril Lavigne so bad. It was like the real definition of a rock star in my mind at that age. She was confident, she wrote her own songs, she had an awesome pink streak in her hair. I just loved her, and I loved how edgy she was, and I wanted to be her, and I tried to be her. It was a mess, but I loved her, and I do credit her still sometimes to this day how I style my music. But no, I feel like I have that very dramatic edginess, especially if it comes to like ballads and like slow breakup songs. Like that's where I get all my angst out, and because I don't like to say it, I don't like confrontation, I don't like conflict, so I'm not going to say it to their face, but it inspired a lot of that. Now, the next one. This artist has had a pretty big impact on my life, and this artist, from pretty much the time she came out to the music scene to now, I love her. And I bet you can guess who that is, especially with the shirt I'm wearing, especially if you know me at all. I know I'm annoying sometimes. I love Taylor Swift. I was in the 5th grade. I remember this like yesterday. And I swore up and down I did not like country music. Now, that might seem normal, but I lived in a town that was country music. I don't know why I thought it was cool to not like country. My best friend at the time, her name was Larissa, she loved country music and she lived out in the country. And our favorite thing to do when I'd go over to her house, we would listen to her boombox and we'd listen to CDs. And she was like, Maddie, I have an artist that you have to listen to. Like, I went to Tim McGraw's tour, and this artist opened for him, and I absolutely love her. And there is one song that's, like, written for you. And I thought, I don't like country. Now, to preface, I had, this is so embarrassing, but, you know, who cares? Everybody knows it, if they even remember that far back. Maybe I'm the only one. I had a very stalkerish crush at that age on a boy named Drew. This song that she showed me is called Teardrops on My Guitar.
Think about it now. He's the reason for the teardrops on my guitar. The only thing that keeps me wishing on a wishing star.
And the first word of the song is Drew. The person she is singing about, his name is Drew.
Drew looks at me. I fake a smile so he won't see.
Now, I listened to this song, and I had her play it again for me like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, oh my gosh, who is this? She's like, her name is Taylor Swift. And that was her first album. And then we listened to the rest of that album, and I remember that night that I spent the night, we just listened to that album on repeat for that like whole day until we had to go to bed, and then we listened to it again when we got up, and I was just amazed. I was like, oh my gosh, like, this girl made me like country. I love her songwriting. Like, oh my gosh, it feels like she knows my life. Maybe she does, I don't know. She's kind of scary, powerful. But that definitely sealed the deal for Taylor Swift, and there's been no looking back. It's always, I feel like she's always known my life. Kind of a weird feeling. I feel like she made little girls and older girls, like I was in the 5th grade, and I know there's fans older than me, she made them want to pick up a guitar and write their own songs. It doesn't sound like a big deal if you're not into the music industry, but it's really cool that she inspired so many to do that. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but people that have artists that are coming up now that have said she had a major influence on them starting to songwrite have been like Halsey and Kelsey Ballerini and Maren Morris, like all these that are getting huge, and they credit her. I just think that's really cool that she inspired that. She definitely inspired me to start songwriting. Anyway, the next artist that I think made a major impact in my life, and she actually did it twice, which sounds crazy. I didn't connect the dots, so here's the story. It was like in the middle of high school, which I think is a hard time for everybody. I was just questioning if I belonged where I was. Like, sometimes I wasn't understood, and I think that a lot of that was being a teenager, because nobody feels understood. Casey Musgraves had a song called Merry-Go-Round.
Just like dust, we settle in this town on this broken merry-go-round, round, round we go. Where it stops, nobody knows, and it ain't slowing down. This merry-go-round.
I think it hit me hard because it was about feeling stuck. I think I thought, is this my life now? Are these the same people that are going to be around my whole life? And I wasn't sure if that was a good or a bad thing. And I was just confused. And she had that song, and I loved that song. So then, after that angsty phase of my teenager years, I went to college. I had the opportunity to go to the CMA Awards, which was a dream. I mean, I sat, of course, in the nosebleeds, but it didn't matter because I was there and I loved country music, and Nashville was still so new to me, and I just felt like everything was so crazy because I grew up in this little town, and this was a bustling city, and all these stars were in the same room as me. It was crazy. But Casey Musgraves performed there, and she performed a song called Dime Store Cowgirl.
Maybe for a minute I got too big for my britches, but I'm just a dime store cowgirl. That's all I'm ever gonna be. You can take me out of the country, but you can't take the country out of me. No, 'cause I'm still the girl from Golden. Had to get away so I could grow. But it don't matter where I'm going, I'll still call my hometown home.
And it was perfect for me at that time when things seemed to be getting crazy. She'll always have that. She grew up in that small town. She'll always have those same morals and that inside of her, and she'll never be like a big wig. She'll just be a dime store cowgirl. So I hope this little video was interesting to you. I know it's kind of different. I hope that you kind of see into my brain now, maybe a little bit. Kind of strange artists put together, but there's a lot of country and some rock there, some southern type rock. And there's so many more that I love or just like, and I listen to all their stuff. And it's just fun for me. Music's fun, enjoy it. It can be an expression of who you are or who you want to be. Congratulations, I'm proud of you. Comment, I actually made it in the comments. Good night.